Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Here we are with another episode of Cause and Effect, and today's episode is called The Art of Not Caring. Yes, have you ever had somebody do or say something to you that hurt your feelings so bad that you thought about it and couldn't get it off your mind? Maybe you shed some tears over it, you couldn't sleep. It's happened to all of us, and I'm going to tell you about the art of not caring and why it's important and why you should do it. So we've all had experiences where a friend or a family member has done exactly this, done something to us, disrespected us, maybe said something about us and it got back to us and it hurt our feelings and we just could not get past it. A lot of us aren't going to confront the person that may have done this or said this thing. And we brood and we brood and we brood and we have no inner peace because of it. But when you learn the art of not caring about most things, then you will have peace that you can't even imagine. I'm speaking from personal experience. When I was a younger guy, when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and even my early 50s, I cared about things so deeply and let them bother me so much. I would literally lose sleep. I would think about things all day long. They would get stuck in my craw. I'd get angry. Sometimes I would confront people, and it just wasn't good for me, my health, and my emotional health. So at some point, I decided to just stop caring about most things. And when did that point come? That point came for me probably when I was 58 or 59 years old. Yeah, I know. That's pretty late in life. I'm 60, I'll be 66 here right soon. So that was only 7 or 8 years ago. But I will tell you, the peace I have now from not caring about so many things has made my life substantially better. My wife and I talk about this all the time because she is very emotional, gets her feelings hurt fairly easily, and has trouble letting things go. And she freely admits that, and that's how most people are. And it does cause her pain. No matter what I say to her, it doesn't ease that pain. And I keep trying to convince her to just not care so much, because most of the things that hurt us like that are not things we can control, or things that really matter to the substance and quality of our lives. And why at that age of 58 or 59 did I stop caring? Well, that was sort of a transition time for me in my life. You know, I was getting closer to retirement. I was older. My kids were on the verge of moving out in a year or two. And I started thinking a lot about my own personal health since I was getting older, because I want to live a long time, just like most of us. And I realized that having all that tension built up all the time was not good for me long term at all. And the number one thing that changed my attitude about this was I started taking martial arts at the age of 58. And martial arts really taught me how to control my emotions better, remain calm, and I will never say that martial arts taught me how to not care about these things, but that's basically what happened when I learned to be calm, approach things more gently, more rationally, and with more thought. I just naturally stopped caring about these things that don't really matter. And I've gotten better and better at it in those 7 years since I started to make this conscious change, and it has been good for me. My wife would tell you I'm a much, much different man than I was 7 or 8 years ago. And not that I was a bad guy, but that my attitude about a lot of things has just changed for the better. And, my recent doctor's appointments, because when you're getting ready to retire, you got to go through all these doctor's appointments for Medicare and all. They check you all out. And everything for me was good. All my blood work was excellent. I don't take any medications. And good blood pressure. So, remaining calm. Remaining calm is a key to a lot of these things. That's kind of how I got to the point where I am now. When you remain calm, that anger doesn't build up. When you remain calm, you have a clear head and you can think things out logically, like, why did that happen? Did I do something? Is that person just a troublemaker? Do I really care? Do I really care what that person's doing? Do they need to be in my circle? Should I shuck them out of my circle? You can think a lot more clearly when you're not angry. If somebody does something to you and it's blatant, a lot of times they'll know what they're doing and they're looking for a reaction. And when you act out of anger to that individual, you are giving them power over you. They have the power over you because you are in a no-win position 90% of the time, and they are sitting at the top of the heap looking down at you, and they have all the power over you. Why would you want to give that person that's done something to make you miserable, why would you want to give them that power over you? No anger gives them no power. Maintain your calmness. Remember this, that person or persons, they don't pay your bills. They're not really that important in your life. Are they a friend? Well, I'll be talking about friendship in the future. There's friends, and then there's your circle. And if somebody's in your circle, they're probably not going to do that to you anyway, if your circle is small and tight like it should be. If they're a friend and they do something like that to you, are they really your friend? Were they ever really your friend? That's the question, and you have to answer that for yourself. If you're losing sleep over these things, you are definitely hurting your health. There's no reason to lose sleep. Go to bed calm, go to bed with a clear mind, and you'll sleep like a baby, and in the morning, you'll wake up still not caring. You can't do anything about these people anyway, because they're going to do the nonsense they do. You can be their friend, you can treat them great, and if they're prone to doing these kind of things, they're going to do it. And they're going to look for reactions. And the best thing you can do is not give those reactions. They want you to react. They want you to react. I have found that in these kind of situations, when I don't react, when those people come around me or I'm around them for some reason, I'm not the one that's uncomfortable. Never. Never. I told somebody recently, when I'm in a room with somebody that doesn't like me or somebody that's done something to me, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. I just stand a little taller, walk a little straighter, smile a little wider. And guess who the uncomfortable one is most of the time? And it's not me. There's no reason to give anybody in your life that kind of power over you. No reason. There should be a small circle that you care about enough to let things bother you. And who is that? Of course, that's your spouse or significant other, your children, your extended family, if you have extended family like, brothers, sisters, aunts and uncles, cousins. And, even some of them, you're not going to care because they're not really in your circle. They may be family, but they're probably more on the outskirts of your life. There may be a few that are in that circle, and those are the ones you should care about. Friends. I think a lot of us tend to look at too many people as friends. Friends, and then your circle. And even in that friend category, there's different levels. There's people that you're going to enjoy being around. Maybe you have common hobbies, common interests, and maybe you even talk about your personal life a little bit. And that's awesome. But there's also friends where it's much more casual. You hang out with them sometimes, occasionally. You're not really telling them your personal business, but they're good, decent people, and you enjoy their company, and they are in your friend group. But then there's that circle, that very small circle. And I just read a very interesting article recently about how as you get older, your circle should be smaller. And I will agree with that. And why should your circle be smaller? One, it's just easier to manage. And when I say manage, I just mean, you know that small circle is going to be the group of people that is going to have your back when the rubber meets the road, when something bad is going on in your life, when you need help with something. They're going to be there. They're not going to be the people that say that they're your friends and then they say, oh, I would have helped you if. I would have been there if. I wish I could have helped you, but. I wish I could have been there for you, but. Yeah, those aren't the people that you should have in your circle. Your circle should be those that would come in the middle of the night in an emergency. Those that would stand up for you when you're not around, when they hear somebody else chirping about you. Those are your circle, and your circle should be small. So I'm going to encourage you to tell me what your thoughts on this. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you have an interesting story that illustrates this, put it in the comments. Ask questions about this. I'll try to answer everything I can. I'm going to also ask you to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so when I make new videos and post them, you get a notification. And give me a thumbs up if you can. I appreciate it. Everybody have a good day and think hard about that circle. Remember this, every single day, every day, try to do something nice for somebody. It'll make you feel better and it'll make the world a little better place. Take care.